Thank you, Presiding Officer. I would like to thank Sharon Dowie for securing this debate this evening. And I think all of us South West Scotland MSPs have either raised this issue in debate previously and have raised questions of the Scottish Government on the need for improvements to these main arterial routes, the A75 and the A77. The A75 is actually part of a 95-mile-long Euro route, and it's a fundamental connectivity route for the UK and the wider access to Europe. And fundamentally, it is time that we see much-needed upgrades to improve the safety and efficiency. And I also pay tribute to the A75 and the A77 action groups. Their continued campaigning efforts cannot be underplayed. It is also vital to note that there have been fatal accidents on the road, as Sharon Dowie has just talked about. That includes 2 very recent accidents on the A75 in as many months. And we now have a wife and 2 daughters without a husband and a father, and a community devastated by the loss of a friend from the other accident near Annan. So my thoughts and my condolences go to all the families. Presiding Officer, we have the commitments from both governments, but now the focus must be on transforming these commitments into action as quickly as possible. I made this clear at the recent South West Scotland Transport Alliance Summit in Stranraer on the 29th of January at the North West Castle. The summit was attended by MSPs and representatives from the ferry companies, Stena and P&O, Belfast Harbours. There were NHS representatives there, and Dumfries and Galloway and South Ayrshire Council leaders. There was a consensus from all in attendance on the absolute need for road upgrades, and I know my colleague Eleanor Witham, MSP, in attending our joint meetings on this issue, also agrees that road improvements are critical. The Scottish Government published the Strategic Transport Projects Review No. 2 in 2022, and it states that the A75 and the A77 will benefit from improving junctions, enhancing overtaking opportunities, or climbing lanes where slow-moving traffic does lead to risky overtaking manoeuvres, and widening or realigning carriageways to alleviate pinch points. So these recommendations will bring the long call for change that constituents are asking for. However, the issue now is funding. The Scottish Government continues to operate within a tight economic situation. But I'm not going to take any interventions, actually, because I've only got 4 minutes. The Scottish Government continues to operate within a tight economic situation, a budget handed to us without the ability to commit to huge infrastructure spending. This means it is necessary for the UK Government to come forward with funding to ensure that upgrades progress. This was acknowledged in the UK Government Commissioned Union Connectivity Review. And since the STPR2 and the Union Connectivity Review, progress has been made. And I welcome that the Scottish and UK governments have been working together, and I welcome a collaborative engagement to explore the options of making funding available. The Scottish Government secured £8 million from the UK Government for a feasibility study to create bypasses for Springham and Crocketford villages. And I again asked the Minister or the Cabinet Secretary to provide exact timescales for when the STPR2 commitments will be enacted. Presiding Officer, in addition to the need for improvements for better safety and efficiency, I'm also seeking further clarity on the strong economic case that the Central Belt does benefit from the connectivity to Northern Ireland. I've written to Transport Scotland to seek an update in figures on travelling patterns for cars and HGVs so that we can show that other parts of Scotland do benefit from this A77 connectivity, and it is important in terms of goods and services. Just this week, my office have been in touch with Gist Logistics, a major distribution hub employing over 2,500 people in Motherwell. Gist have stated how important the A77 is as part of its distribution network. Both roads, the economic importance cannot be underplayed, and I ask the Cabinet Secretary for a commitment that the Scottish Government recognises this. So in conclusion, I ask the Government that it can do all it can to get shovels in the ground on the A75 and the A77 and to deliver these much needed improvements. Thank you.